Okay, so we're in this group. It's a public group. Everybody can see it. Moderated King James Bible Debate. And we're in a discussion about Easter. So I showed this, that Pascha in Greek is translated to the word Easter in English. And Pascha, you should notice, is similar to the word Passover. Well, anyway, so this guy comes in and puts KJVO, which stands for King James Version Only, and writes and makes it look like Google Translate says deceiver. So first I wanted to figure out how he did this. It's possible he just went in here and did that, but I'm not sure how he did it. But it really stands for King James Version Only. And he's making it look like I made something up where I put one thing in and as if I wrote something else over here. So I'm going to show you what I did, okay? So I went to Blue Letter Bible and I typed in Passover. And it gives you a list of a lot of words in the King James Bible where the word Passover was used. And so I just scrolled down to, usually I use a short verse involving the word that I want. So like this. And if you click on here and go down, you find Passover, Pascha. All right. So if I go and I copy that, I could put it in. And if I want to see it in English, it translates from, so you see it goes from Passover in English means Pascha, is Pascha in Greek. If I go to the Greek, though, Pascha in Greek is interpreted Easter. That is happening because Pascha has two meanings. It's Passover and Easter. In fact, watch this. So you see the word Pascha here. If I type in Passover and I go to Greek, notice here you see the word Pascha again. That's the pi, alpha, Pascha, chi. So Pascha is used both for Passover and for Easter, the Easter holiday in Greek. So the question is, is this word Easter, is it pagan or Christian, a Christian holiday? Here's the problem. The Jews already have Passover. So how do the Christians distinguish the word in English from Passover if you want to do that? Easter would do that. So the question is, do we have any precedent for taking a pagan word and using it for a Christian concept? Well, I put the ESV down. I know they use Hades in there. And they talk about Hades in the Bible, the Christian Bible. Like they have Jesus talking about Hades in Luke 16. As if Jesus really used the word Hades. Luke 16 is talking about, hell, the rich man and Lazarus, and they use Hades there, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, they should know. The reason they use Hades because it's what's called a transliteration. The Greek has Hades there. And so they just transliterated it from the Greek word to the English word. Here's the problem with that. If you go and you look at Hades, Hades was originally in Greek mythology, the ancient Greek god of the underworld. So in other words, a pagan word was later used for a Christian concept. Yes. So the modern versions use pagan words for Christian concepts, yet if you go to Blue Letter Bible and you type in the word Easter, you will see the word Easter used in one place. Now, that I don't think that's a coincidence personally, because they use Passover in all the other places, but they chose Easter here to distinguish it. It is a pagan word, but it's used today, at least, for a Christian holiday. So let me show you that. First, and I'll link this article under the video. Encyclopedia Britannica, this is from Will Kinney's article, and I think it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Will Kinney. The Encyclopedia Britannica 1911 edition has this to say regarding the early Christian celebration of Easter. Although the observance of Easter was a very early period in the practice of the Christian church, let's see. On the 14th day of the moon, it's referring to the quartodeciman controversy. Quartodeciman, quarto being 4, deciman being 10, so that's 14. The Gentile Christians, on the other hand, unfettered by Jewish traditions, identified the first day of the week with the resurrection and kept the preceding Friday as the commemoration of the crucifixion. And what they do is they bring up the Eastern churches followed the Jewish rule and kept Easter on the 14th day of St. Polycarp, the disciple of St. John the Evangelist and Bishop of Smyrna, visited Rome in 159 to confer with Anicetus, the bishop of that see, on the subject. So that means that there was a debate about Easter dating back, or the Christian Pascha, to 159 AD. That's called the quartodeciman controversy. So basically, it is a debate regarding the celebration of the Christian Passover in the 2nd century. John died at 100 AD at the beginning of the 2nd century. So this dates Easter back to the 2nd century. In fact, if you look here, let me see if I can get it on the screen for you. From his epistle to Victor and the Roman Church concerning the day of keeping Passover. And these things are dated back in the debate involving Polycarp and these other people to the 2nd century regarding the Christian Passover. So the mistake is to take a word Easter, which does have pagan origins, just like Hades. The word Hades has pagan origins, and attaching it to a Christian concept. Do we see this at all? And we do by Paul. If you go to Acts 17:22, it says, Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. Because these people were worshiping all these different gods, little g, in their polytheistic beliefs. And he says, For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with the inscription, To the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. So Paul, like a missionary, used something within their culture and a concept within their culture to explain a Christian concept. So it is no surprise that Hades is used to describe their word, to translate to a Christian concept, and the word Easter, which stands for the Christian Passover, is used it's a paganish word that's used to differentiate from the Jewish Passover, and to distinguish concepts for you. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand, and why people have to digress to things like deceiver. This is all, everything I showed you here is very well documented, and you can put it in yourself, and you could check it, that number one, the word Passover translates to Pascha in other languages. Pascha means both Passover and Easter for the Easter holiday, the Christian holiday, in other languages. If you go from the word Pascha to English, you'll see that the word Easter is favored. So that Easter stands for a Christian holiday. It's just that in English we use the word Easter. But in the other languages, Passover has been used and is the more ancient word. So it's not, they're using English to make you think that it's a pagan origins, when actually the origins are in the Christian Pascha. And we saw that in the 2nd century there was already a debate about when the Christians should celebrate the Passover, because they were celebrating Jesus' death, burial, his resurrection mostly. And the Jews were just not celebrating that, and they were, differentiating the two because they're different. So Jesus rose from the dead. We have 2nd century confirmation that people were already celebrating his resurrection from the dead. That should be something that people rejoice in, not something that people argue over or try and turn it into some kind of paganism. That's so I just want to say thank you for listening, and you do your own research and you make your own decisions about whether Easter in that section of Acts means Passover, or whether Easter really means the Christian celebration of the Lord's resurrection. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are blessed by this.